Seriously? Hey guys, and welcome to this rather special educational video with myself, 6+ Stevo, and my very special guest, my youngest Snotling, who has informed me that you would like to be known as, what would you like to be known as?
100 plus Shola.
100 plus Shola. So there you go, 6+ Stevo and 100 plus Shola. Is 100 better than 6? Is it? Right, okay. So what we're going to do today, Shola, is I'm going to talk to you about some of my orcs. And we're going to educate you. And you're going to learn a little bit. And maybe the audience is going to learn along with us. So what do you think this is?
A monster holding a gun.
Well, yes. Yes, technically you are correct. This is an orc boy. Although technically he's a rather specialist orc boy. This particular one is a rocket boy or a tank buster, because that gun he's holding is a rocket launcher, and his favourite thing is to destroy vehicles and the tanks and things, and he shoots his rockets off and he likes big explosions. But yeah, he's an orc boy.
So he's the one who killed that smushed spider on the carpet.
Possibly. Yes, just before recording we found a dead spider, haven't we, darling?
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about in this video. We're not here to talk about spiders, we're here to talk about orcs. So anyway, what do you think of this fella?
He looks rubbish and he looks good.
He looks rubbish and he looks good. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah.
Why does he look rubbish?
Because he's less stronger than you.
He's less stronger than me. I'm not sure he is. And why does he look good?
Because
What do you like about him?
Because I think he has a 6-pack.
He has a 6-pack, does he? Well, he probably does, because orcs are very muscular. They're very, very strong.
Stronger than me.
Yes, he probably is. But I tell you what we can have a look at. They're not... Now, the orcs come from a race that's called the Orkoid race.
Orkoid?
Yeah. And now, well, in the Orkoid race, there's not just orcs. They've got smaller cousins, which are called grots. And here's a grot there. And as you can see, they're a lot smaller.
They're baby.
Yeah. Now this one, he's an ammo runt, because he's holding a little bag of bullets, and he's ready to follow the orcs. Now these, do you know, darling, these get bullied quite a lot by the orcs.
Why?
Well, because they're little and weak, and the orcs like to pick on them and push them about and bully them and get them. They're kind of like slaves. They kind of do whatever the orcs tell them because they're scared of orcs. But they're also quite nasty little buggers. They like stealing things. Yeah. But they do important jobs for the orcs. So, what do you think about him?
He looks wonderful.
He looks wonderful, does he? Oh, well, that's nice. But yeah, that is a grot. Now, there are smaller versions, things even smaller than grots. And do you know what they're called?
The thing where you call me?
Yes, well done. High five. Well done. Yeah, snotlings. Yeah.
Sometimes I watch your videos.
Do you? Oh, well, that's good. So you're helping my views, are you?
6+ Stevo. And you roll the dice.
That's right. Yeah, I do. I do roll dice. Yeah. So, yeah, snotlings. Snotlings are smaller than grots. They're even weedier, tiny little things, and they're actually quite nice. Yeah, snotlings are actually quite sweet, and they help grow the mushrooms. Because do you know where orcs come from?
Mushrooms?
Yeah. I think I gave you a bit of a hint there, didn't I? But yeah, so orcs, they don't like have babies. They have spores, so they have all this sort of, like you get skin come off you sometimes.
On my back.
On your back?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, once my skin pulled off my back.
Oh, that's when you had a bit of sunburn, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that, but orcs have spores that sort of come off them, and the orcs are very smelly, and they got these spores that come off them, and these spores land on the ground. No, your feet are fine. So the spores come off them, and they land on the ground, and then they sort of start growing into mushrooms, and then these mushrooms continue to grow, and then out of these mushrooms under the ground grow orkoids. So you get little snotlings start appearing and grots, and then eventually you start getting orcs. So yeah, they just pop out of the ground out of mushrooms. What do you think of that?
Yeah, but it's like grass, but grasses are basically snotlings because they grow out the thing and they grow flowers, and they grow really big and they grow flowers. So then that could be a snotling, the flowers.
Yeah, I suppose so. Grots. So in your mind, grass is like orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it grows out of the ground. It's green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get all different types. You get flowers and things grow out of there.
Yeah, and you get insects like slugs.
Yeah.
I think the snotlings might be slugs.
Oh, well, they don't have slugs, but I'll tell you what, there's other things as well. There's not just snotlings. So look, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll get 2 of these out, and then you can have a look at one of them.
Okay.
And then I'll put one on the camera. This, let me know if you know. Be very careful with that. Hold it by the base. What do you think that's called?
I don't know, Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Does look a bit like Slimer from Ghostbusters, don't they? Well, these are called squigs.
Squigs.
Squigs. Now, squigs are like orc pets. You know, a bit like our pet cat.
Yeah, but our cat doesn't look like that. Our cat has sharp teeth, but he doesn't have only 2 legs, and he doesn't look like he's just got in a dump of pink paint, and it doesn't look like he's just feasted on a children's leg.
No, well, you're right. He doesn't look like any of them things, and that, and thank Orc for that, eh? Because if we had a cat that looked like that, I think we might need to make a visit to the vet. No, but they are like orc pets, and also the orcs like to eat them. Yeah, sometimes they use them as snacks, but sometimes the orcs like to snack on snotlings, and even the grots as well. Sometimes, yeah, orcs like to.
So you eat me?
Yeah, if I was an orc and you were a snotling,
I am.
I might get you to, like slave and do jobs for me and stuff. And then sometimes when I'm hungry, I might just grab you and gobble you up. So yeah, but they do that with squigs. Now this is called a squig bomb, or a bomb squig, because he's got a bomb strapped to his back. And the orcs, what they like to do with the squigs is they strap bombs to them, and then they send the squigs off running towards the enemy, and then they run towards them and blow them up.
Like this. Or there. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, like that. Just like that. You couldn't see that on camera, guys, but she demonstrated it perfectly. So yeah, that is the bomb squigs. What else can we show you? I'll tell you what, darling. Let's show you something pretty cool.
Is it an exploding pig?
No, I'm going to show you. Do you want to see the boss of my orc tribe?
Yeah, is it a poo emoji?
No, darling, it's not a poo emoji.
Oh.
This is Gashnak Goldtooth. And
What?
that's what his name is, Gashnak Goldtooth. And he's Gashnak Goldtooth.
Gashnak Goldtooth.
Yeah, close enough. But he's the boss of my tribe. So he's the biggest and the baddest. And you know, the orcs, they like to follow whoever's the biggest and the best. So whoever's the biggest orc in the tribe, he'll be the boss. Yeah.
So if I was bigger than you, do you follow me?
If we were orcs, yes.
Even if I was 5 and you would be 100.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm a bit older than you, darling, but I'm not that old.
But you are. You're like a grandpa.
Am I?
You're an old man.
I'm an old man.
Yeah.
Right.
I have children looking Chili and Mingo.
Well, listen, I'm still the boss, so, you know, you better show some respect, all right? And fall into line. Now, listen, what do you think of Gashnat Goldtooth, anyway?
Who is that minion on his back?
Well spotted. That's his little grot gunner. Grot gunner. Because he fires the gun on his back. Yeah. Because grots are a lot better at shooting than orcs. Because they've got better eyesight and better senses. Grots have quite big noses. They're good at smelling. They've got big ears for hearing.
Like
and they
witches.
They do. Do you know what? Grots actually do look a little bit like witches in their face. They've got sort of a witchy nose and ears and things. You see that one?
It looks like Shrek.
Yeah, a little bit. He does look a little bit like Shrek. But yeah, that's the boss anyway. What else can we show you? How about, do you want to see another squig? But a bigger squig.
A squiggy.
This squig. This is called a smasher squig. And what do you think of him?
He looks good. And what happened to his face?
Well, he's got that, what, you mean that like armour plate thing on his head? Because what he does, he charges, he puts his head down and he runs headlong at the enemy and just smashes into them and knocks them over.
Like if I had a pillow on my head, I would do that to you. Then
you want to put a pillow on your head and pretend you're a smasher squig?
Yeah,
But you'd have to have a big orc riding on your back.
No, it would be you.
Oh,
I'd smash into Ella.
Oh, right. Well, there we go. That's that.
Wait, he has a cool hairstyle.
He doesn't have any hair.
The other one.
I don't think any of these have hair, darling. They're all bald, just like your dad. Right, look.
Like
how
you.
about, do you want to take a look at this?
What is that? What are their minions? Oh no, not one of them Shreks.
This is a mech gun. So it's a big, powerful cannon. And these crew around it, they all operate it. So you see this little fella at the front with the binoculars?
Yeah, he's looking for you because he wants you to put him back in the box because he doesn't want to be on camera because he's shy.
Oh, okay. Right, well, we'll put him back then.
Yeah.
We don't want him getting shy, do we?
No.
There you go. Okay, so that is some stuff. Anyway, let's show you some of the bigger things. So,
Bigger.
yeah, so we'll show you.
They should be the boss.
So you talked about, what did you talk about earlier? You talked about a 6-pack, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I've got 6 of these. So these fellas are called the 6-pack. And here's one of them now. This is called a killer can.
I thought it was called a 6-pack.
Well, no, that's what I've called the group of them, because I've got 6 of them. So I called them a 6-pack. Because you buy like a 6-pack of cans, don't you? You can buy them in the shop if you buy like cans of drink.
So they're cans.
Yeah, because you see that his body is sort of shaped like a can, and he's just got arms and legs on it.
And they look like they're about to dance in an orc party. And there's gonna be the skeleton on that box. That skeleton with armor on his back. The skeleton on the box on your all of the boxes where they were.
Oh, are you talking like the? Oh, right, yeah. I don't know. I don't remember a skeleton on the box.
There was a red-faced skeleton with red eyes.
Oh, I'm not sure what you're talking about, darling. But yeah, that's the killer can anyway. Do you know what's inside that killer can?
I know.
What?
People burning down it so people don't get attacked by it.
Not people. There's a grot inside there.
A grot.
Yeah, one of the little fellas.
Like a grot. Like
And do you remember when I told you that the grots get bullied by the orcs? The orcs kick them about and they give them a clump every now and again. And occasionally, well, sometimes the grots get put inside killer cans. They get wired in there and it gets closed shut and bolted shut. And then the grot drives this thing around, kind of like a robot. So he's now in this giant can body. And sometimes these grots, they remember the orcs that were bullying them in camp. And so they come down with this can body and they grab the orcs in the big claw and they crush them, or they might stomp them with their feet.
So,
And then they'll start bullying the orcs back.
so I guess.
Just like that, darling. Just like that. But yeah, that's a killer can. But what do you think happens? So that's what happens when you put a grot inside one. What do you think an orc one looks like?
I know.
Yeah?
You. Because you're a girl.
No. It looks like this.
It looks like you.
This is a death dread.
Death dread.
Yes, exactly. And this one is called Snap. Because you see his big claws.
He snaps on people.
That's exactly what he does, darling. It's not the most nuanced of namings. I'll give you that. But and then we've got Crackle.
Crackle.
Yeah, you know why he's called Crackle?
Because he crackles people.
Because those two guns he's got, they're called Scorchers, and they throw fire out. They're called flamethrowers. And so when things burn, sometimes they crackle, don't they? So that's why he's called Crackle.
What does crackle mean?
Well, I just told you. You know the sound, like when you crackle something. You know, like if you scrunch up paper, it sort of crackles.
Doing that.
Yeah, like that. That's the sound of all his victims burning when he's scorched them. And then we've got this one. This one is called Pop.
Pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Exactly. Well, a bit like popcorn, yes, because he's got custom mega blasters, and he fires big shots, and sometimes when they hit the enemy, they literally pop.
Like this. Oh, could you? Hello.
Just like that, darling. Just like that. You can't see what she's doing off camera, but it is exceptional. So yeah, there you go. There's a little look at some of my orcs. Anyway, what do you think of them?
They have big white eyes. They look like they're about to bite you.
Yeah.
And the first one looks like he has wires around him, and he looks very weird and has one eye.
But what do you think about orcs?
I don't know. It looks like you, and yeah, they said look like you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's this. It looks just like that, but it was red and it had red eyes, and it didn't have a hat.
Right, so anyway, there we go, guys. We just wanted to talk to you about orcs, didn't we, darling?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like you've learned something today?
I feel like I learned that orcs are horrible, except from you.
Well, good. I'm glad you don't think I'm horrible.
And not me.
And orcs probably are horrible if you're a human, or if you're a grot, or if you're a snotling. They are pretty horrible.
Human. That means they are horrible.
Yeah,
Except
right.
from you, even though you're one.
Okay.
You're one of them.
I'm one of them, am I?
You're the boss, and you're the boss one, and you look like your beard's gonna come out your face and attack.
Right. Well, anyway, you still giggling? Thank you very much, darling, for helping me make this video. So it's good to know that you've learnt something. You've learnt that orcs are horrible.
Yes, and I learned that orcs have yellow eyes because they wee out their eyes. I think because it's the colour of wee.
Right. Well, I think it's time to bring this video to a close.
Close? What do you mean? You'll close your whole sit up down, and then you'll stop doing videos, and then you'll start doing gaming.
No, darling. No, I'm not going to turn this channel into a gaming channel. It will continue to be an orc channel. So anyway, it's time for us to say goodbye. Okay? So this is 6 Plus Stevo signing out.
100 plus signing out.
See you next time, guys.